Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to get this makeup look. I'm super excited to use the KKW X Mario palette, and I'm also excited to use the new lipstick shades that Kim Kardashian West just came out with. We're rocking a middle part today. That's like a Kardashian staple. So let's get started. Alright, so before we get started, I'm going to pin my hair back. Ready to go. And first I'm going to start by doing my brows, and I'm going to be using the IT Cosmetics brow pencil in the shade Universal Taupe. Now the way I like to do my brows is first brushing the hairs upward, and then I like to trace the bottom line of the brow, and then extend the tail just a little bit. Now the place that my brows are the most sparse is this little area where there's supposed to be like an arch. So I like to fill that in with my brow pencil. You know, the little arch. Small strokes, just so that it's not too harsh. And then I start to work my way towards the front of the brow, using a very light hand so that it looks softer. And then I like to brush through to make sure it's all blended in. And then onto the other brow. You want to make sure they look like sisters instead of, you know, third cousins twice removed. So to prime my eyelids, I'm going to be using the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and I'm going to be picking that up using a dense shader brush. I bought this paint pot 3 years ago. Granted, it has not lasted me 3 years because I lost it for about 2.5. I mean, obviously 2015 was probably this one's prime, but you know, we're still kicking. She's not done yet. And honestly, you think I'm gonna go buy a new one when there's this much left? No. And then I'm just gonna tap it with my finger just to warm up the product and blend it into my skin. We're ready. So today I'm going to be using the KKW X Mario palette. It is gorgeous. Look at her. Look at her. She cute. So for the transition shade, I'm going to be picking up this color. It is called Miami. And I'm going to take a big blending brush, put that right in the crease, and blend it up towards the brow bone. Next I'm going to take this shade right here. It's a little bit deeper than the transition shade. It's like a sienna color. And I'm going to take a MAC 217 brush. This is a little bit more compact than the blending brush that I use for my transition color. I'm going to pick that up just a little bit and then put that right in the crease just below the transition color. See how it blends real nicely into the transition color? That's what we want. Now we're going to pick up a Luxie 227 brush. This is a blending brush, but it's a lot smaller than the brushes that we've used before. And we're going to pick up this dark brown shade in the corner and just focus that first on the outer corner. So I'm going to start blending it into the crease colors. We're also going to do that on the inner corner. So right now you should just have the center of the eyelid bare, because we're going to put a shimmery shadow on that center. I'm choosing between this one and this one. ¿Por qué no las dos? So I'm going to take this gold shadow right here on my finger, and I'm going to be applying that to the center of the eyelid. And then we're going to take this other shadow, it's more of a champagne-y color. I'm going to place that on top. So my camera just died, but we back. So you just want to soften the line between the shimmery shadow and the deep brown shadow. Now that we've created the halo eye, I'm just going to take that MAC 217 brush and just blend out the edges to make sure that everything is blended nicely together. Now we're going to line the lash line with some black eyeliner. This is the Smashbox Always Sharp Waterproof Liner. I really like this liner because it has a sharpener in the cap, so you just twist it until you hear that click and it sharpens it. So now I'm going to line the lash line. I like to do my eyeliner with my eyes open, just so that I know exactly what it looks like when my eyes are open, because it can look totally different if you just close and try to do this. When you open your eyes, you're like, oof. It's a little bit more difficult just because you have to blink, and so beware. And do that on the other side. Now that that's done, we're going to put on some mascara. We're going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm actually not really a fan of this mascara because it's kind of clumpy, but you know we're not going to throw out a whole tube of mascara. So we're going to be priming our face using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. So I like this primer because it really fills in your pores. So I like to focus this on my nose and my cheeks and down on my chin, everywhere. I like to spot conceal before I put my foundation on so that I'm not tempted to put on extra foundation, you know what I mean? So then I'm going to blend in that concealer with a beauty blender. Now when spot concealing, you want to make sure that you're patting instead of rubbing, because you want to make sure that the product is concentrated right where you put it. Now for foundation, I'm really excited to talk to you guys about the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. It is magical. I really like this foundation because it is long lasting and it wears really nicely. It has a very natural finish, so people are going to be complimenting your skin. They're going to be like, ooh girl, is that makeup? Then you're going to recommend them the foundation. And I love that it's got a pump because it's just so much more hygienic. And I'm just going to be pumping that on the back of my beauty blender. And we're going to blend that in. So I use about one pump for my right cheek and then another pump for my left cheek and then like half a pump for my chin and my forehead. And you gotta get your neck, because if you don't get your neck, that's a neck. And the great thing about this foundation is because of the natural matte finish that it has, you don't really have to set it. So I'm just gonna move on to under eyes. I'm gonna be taking the Becca Aqualuminous Perfecting Concealer. This is my favorite concealer. It's what I use to spot conceal. I also like to use it as my under eye concealer. I'm just gonna blend that in with my beauty blender. And then to brighten up the under eyes, we're gonna be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Chantilly. I think it's actually the lightest shade that there is. So this is gonna really, it's gonna blind some people. We're just gonna put a little bit. Before we move on, we're going to set the under eyes with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just gonna dip my beauty blender in there. We are going to bake. So for those of you who don't know what baking is, it's where you take an excessive amount of translucent powder and pack it on your under eyes. I think they call it baking because it looks like you have like all-purpose flour on your face. But this really locks in your concealer and ensures that you don't have any creasing going on throughout the day. And then you just want to let that sit for like a couple minutes. Let it bake, you know? We're just going to move on to bronzer. Today I'm going to be using the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I'm just going to use this big brush to bronze up the skin. I'm just going to take that around the perimeter of the face. Now we are just going to dust away the excess powder on our under eyes. Next up is blush. So this one is perfect for any look, and it's from the drugstore. It's the Maloney blush in Luminoso. It's so old that you can't even see the Maloney branding on it anymore. Beautiful peachy shade. Pack it on. Next, oh, we highlighting now, girl. For highlight, we are going to use the Dose of Colors DesiXKaty highlight in the shade Fuego. It's my favorite highlighter. It's very finely milled, so it looks glossy on the skin. And we also want to highlight the tip of the nose. I'm also going to take it on my finger and highlight the Cupid's bow. So we're going to finish off the eyeshadow by placing this really gorgeous purple shade on the lower lash line. I'm taking a MAC 239 brush. This is like a flat shader brush. I'm just going to run that along the lower lash line. Now we're going to put on some lipstick, and I'm very excited to try out the KKW Beauty lipsticks and lip liners that just came out. And I think what I'm going to do is try out this one that Kim was doing. I don't know if it's focused or not, but she said she used shade 6, which I have, and liner number 2. I'm going to start off by lining my lips. Now I'm going to be using the shade 6 Nude. It's really creamy. I'm trying to give it some more dimension, so I think I'm going to mix it with one of the lighter shades and focus that on the center. And now we are going to apply some false lashes. We're going to go back into the eyeshadow palette and take this bright shimmery shade in the corner right here. So we're going to take that on a dense pencil brush, pick that up, and pack that on the inner corner. We just need to set the makeup using some MAC Fix Plus. And that completes the look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and a subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you'd like to see in my next video. And if you'd like to see my next video, please hit that subscribe button. We out. I might have gone too far with the blush. Did you think I was going to use a different highlighter?